Hi guys, hope you're all doing well. So I'm coming back after a long time because of some other constraints and everything. So I have been off for the long time. So yeah, so let us discuss about a topic today. The topic we are going to discuss is the inheritance concept first. So inheritance. Okay, so basically, what is inheritance? Is all about the carry forwarding of anything. Okay, the carry forwarding of anything, either a property, either money or a land or something, okay, from one person to other person. That is nothing but from parent to a child is nothing but inheritance. So a child is going to inherit whatever the parent has. Okay, so parent, let's say we have one parent, okay, father, and he has one son. So whatever the father has, whatever the properties that have been earned by a father, or what are the money that he earned. So in future, those all those things are going to be inherited to his children, to his child. So this way of carry forwarding all this money, land, property, everything to a child or to his child is called inheritance. The inheritance of properties, it's called. So similar terminology in Pega or even any other object-oriented programming platforms, we have this concept of inheritance. So this is to inherit the rules from one class to the other class. Okay. So in Pega, we have classes. Even in Java, we have classes. So we create classes for the storage of the instances or rules, objects, etc., to access them in the runtime. So similarly, inheritance comes up with inheriting from a parent to child relationship. So it establishes the relation between a parent and the child. So normally inheritance in Pega is divided into two types. So one is the pattern inheritance and the other one is the directed inheritance. So I cannot explain point to point because since this is not the training session. So if you are under training, yes, I can take the time and explain each and every point. But right away, I can just go ahead with the shortcut ways of explaining you to understand the concept. So first, pattern inheritance. So what this pattern inheritance is all about, the inheritance that follows pattern wise. So pattern by pattern, the step by step, uh, execution of the inheritance. What is meant by step by step is all about in the pattern inheritance. Like if we choose a class as a pattern inheritance, or if we choose any container as a pattern inheritance, what is the inheritance that it is going to act is. So it will check for this immediate parent. Let's say I have a class called idfc hyphen cms hyphen work hyphen. Let's say I have a class called this is one of the class that I have, let's say. Okay. So now if I choose this class setting, okay, if I configure this class setting as a pattern inheritance, okay, then if I choose a setting as a pattern inheritance, then what happens is whatever the class that is made configured as pattern, so now it will check for its immediate parent. So the immediate parent for this particular class is this one. So from idfc hyphen cms hyphen work. So this is the immediate parent of request. Similarly, for the work class, so the immediate parent is idfc hyphen cms. So similarly for CMS class, IDFC is the immediate parent. So that means this is nothing but the pattern inheritance. That means the class is going to check for the immediate parent in a step-by-step manner. If it is not found in the parent class, it is going to check in the other parent class. If it is not found here, it will check for the other parent class. Similarly, so the inheritance will check for the rules or whatever the rule references in such a way to find out the exact role reference. So this is nothing but a pattern inheritance. So this is a step-by-step inheritance that is going to be followed. And coming to the directed inheritance, so directed inheritance is all about whatever the class that you define. Let's say if you define some class for this particular uh, class, let's say instead of this pattern inheritance, I have configured it as a directed inheritance. The directed inheritance classes, let's say I have defined this IDFC. Okay. So this is the IDFC, which is a directed inheritance. I have defined this as a directed inheritance by defining this class. Now what happens is the rule resolution happens. The system will check from this class. It will check in this request class for something, for any rule or whatever. If it is not found in the request class, directly it will check the IDFC class because I have defined the IDFC here. So it will ignore these two classes because I have defined the directed inheritance. Since directed inheritance will check the direct class, what are the class that you specify. So it is going to check the directed class. So this is how the pattern and directed inheritance works. So let us see practically how it goes on. Let us create a class. I'm just creating one test class. So I'm choosing the class type as a concrete and version as O1, and I'm choosing this as a belongs to a class group. Anything you can choose, it's up to you. And here now it is the inheritance path. So here, if you check this checkbox, then it is called as a pattern inheritance. So if you check this checkbox, it is called as a pattern inheritance. If you don't check this checkbox, then it is called as a directed inheritance. So now if you check this checkbox, so this will be the pattern inheritance. So you, even if you change the class here, it doesn't matter. It will check only the pattern. If you give any class here, it doesn't really matter because you have checked this checkbox. That means you are conferring this particular class as a pattern inheritance. So now I have given IDFC here, but still I have checked this. So now it will still act as a it will still act as a pattern inheritance. Okay. So now I have saved this class worked as test class 1. Now let's say I have some property here in IDFC class. So I have a class called IDFC, and here I have some property called FN2. I want to access this property normally. Okay. So I have the property in IDFC class. Now let me create a section and check the inheritance. So I'm just creating one section, test section. With some test name. So I have created, I will try to add a field and see like whether from which class I'm able to access the inheritance. So now in the property reference, if you check, so it is taking from this IDFC CMS work. So then it is checking the IDFC CMS and then it is going to the IDFC. But it is not showing the IDFC class because it is a pattern inheritance. So why it is a pattern inheritance? Because we have checked this checkbox called find name by pattern first. So now what happens is, if you check this checkbox, it is going to check the reference from the immediate parent class, that is this class. And then after this, it is going to check the CMS class, and then it is going to check the IDFC, and followed by the work dash, cover dash, work dash, and then base class. Okay, so you can see the inheritance, how it is expecting. So this is the immediate parent of test class 1, which we have created, and then it is followed by, it is checking the other class called IDFC hyphen CMS, and then prior to that, it is checking the IDFC, and that then it is checking the work dash, cover dash. So this is called a pattern inheritance. It's a step by step checking of the immediate parent classes. So this is nothing but a pattern inheritance. This is how a pattern inheritance works. Similarly, if you want to check it for a directed inheritance, so what we need to do is, we need to create another class just to show you and make you understand. So I'm creating another class, new class. Okay. So here I will choose it as a test class 2. And I will create the class. So now I'm choosing it as a concrete class, and the version is 010101. And this is, I'm choosing this is a class group. And yeah, here now I'm not checking this checkbox. Now I'm not checking this checkbox. That means it is a directed inheritance. So now I'm giving IDFC as same class, and I'm saving it. Okay. So let's see how it works. So I will create a section here for the test class 2, which class I have created, right? So I will create one sample section. So it is clap info 2. So now if you to look at the inheritance, so now you can see it is picking from the IDFC class directly. So the FN2, here it is not showing the worker class, or it is not showing the CMS class, but it is showing directly the IDFC class, because it is a directed inheritance. So here we have defined it as a IDFC. So it is checking the IDFC class. So this is how the directed inheritance works. And previously we have seen the pattern inheritance. So this is the two types of inheritances that we actually go through in the Pega itself. So yeah, this is about the inheritance. It's a simple concept of short video, because if it is a training session, yes, I can take time and explain you in-depth explanation. But yeah, this is a short video, and yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for your support, and let me know if you have any queries. You can post in the comment box. Thank you.